fantastically special episode of Cheap Shots. With me, as always, almost always, is our buddy Luther Broughton, former Eagles tight end and Carolina Panthers tight end. I'm going to pick your brain a lot tonight on a lot of this free agency stuff. As always, I'm the star of the show, Micah Warren, and we appreciate you joining us. Luther, we haven't been on for like a week or so. Luther was taking a vacation to Jamaica. Is that correct?
I was. I had to get away. It was good to get away. It was really fucking good to get away and not do work and not have to worry about Cam in school and just not have to worry about shit besides drinking and eating and just not falling down the side of a mountain again. So it was
Which
good.
now, did you ever think about this? This is what I was thinking about when I saw your pictures from Jamaica. Like dressing up in a nice golf shirt and khaki pants, and then messing with white people and walking around and taking their drink order with a Jamaican accent, and they would think you worked at the resort, and then you could just walk away and go to the pool on the other side of the resort and never talk to them again, and they'd be sitting there waiting for drinks.
Or I could
That's a
go
good idea.
or I can go to an all-inclusive resort and not fuck with people and get my ass kicked by the random lady or man that has a black belt. How about
It's
that?
still a fantastic idea.
It's a
Oh,
fantastic idea.
right for you to do, not me.
But
Anyway, so
not
just
me.
at the head of the show, it's March 16th, Wednesday, 2022. Because then I figure if people randomly download this stuff, now they already know, is this from 5 months ago or is this recent? So since we are here on the Wonderful Props Network and it is the eve of what, Luther?
Free agency.
Oh my God.
Or is it free agency? Because it's so weird.
Is it attorney time, Luther? Can we at least get a little attorney talk out of the way first?
I mean, no, because college basketball is so. Dude, I used to be college basketball. I mean, it was religion for me, and I don't watch enough anymore. It's so weird. I don't know what happened. I can't explain what happened. I can't say, oh, this happened and it turned me off or any. I don't know what the hell happened. I mean, I do watch my Tar Heels. I do still hate Duke. I watch Furman, who, oh God, Furman hadn't been to the NCAA tournament since the 80s. And we lost on a 45-foot buzzer beater in the conference championship.
I saw that.
Dude, that was brutal. I'm talking about brutal. Like, no one cares, right? No one cares about Furman besides me and the 12 other people that I played ball with there for the 1 year we care, right? That was heartbreaking, man. I'm not even gonna lie. That dude, that was as bad for me as watching Chris Jenkins beat the Tar Heels on the buzzer in the national championship game, Villanova's
Yeah.
Chris Jenkins. So that was rough, but I love basketball. Love basketball. I grew up on basketball. You guys, if anybody, the 6 people that listen knows I love basketball, but I just haven't been into college basketball this year much. I mean, and it's
Well,
not because
that's
my
the great thing
team's
about
not
filling
that
out a
good.
bracket is you don't need to know. Nobody knows. Like in terms of filling out a
I
bracket,
mean,
nobody has any clue.
people know basketball. I know basketball. I just haven't been watching it. Nothing about the bracket and all that. You're
Yeah.
right. Nobody fucking knows. I'm cursing a lot. But the lady
Mhm.
that fills out the bracket that says, ooh, I saw a cute guy playing for Baylor and his pants were tight. I'm picking them to win the championship. She's
Yeah.
going to win the bracket. She's
Yep.
going to pick all the upsets. And I say she, it could be a guy. She's going to pick all the upsets and all this good stuff. And that's how it's going to be. But it's weird, man. I'm really into it. I'm ready for the tournament, but it's I don't know who's going to win. It seems to be wide open, and I love it. That makes it great. That's like the NFL playoffs this year. It was wide open and it was great,
Yes.
and
100%.
that's cool. It's kind of cool.
And I will give you my quick tip. It's not my tip. It's my old friend Cordell's tip that he told me this years ago, and I never did it. And since we're on the Props Network, let's give out a little tip. I never even thought to do this, and you can only do it for the first round, especially for people that don't watch college basketball or even watch a ton of it and think they know. And I don't know why I ever thought of this. In the first round, when it comes to picking the first round games, when you don't know who's who and it's a 7-10 or
15
an
seed?
8-9, well, 2 and 15 seed, you're probably safe taking the 2. But he told me this years ago. He's like, "What?"
15,
Go ahead.
you're freezing.
I'm not
You're
freezing. Can you hear
freezing.
me? I'm not freezing.
Oh,
What?
God. I just made that up.
Now you're freezing. Now you're all frozen up, Luther. Kim, what are you doing? You're all frozen, Luther. Hi.
Yeah, I know it's fucking frozen. What are you doing? This isn't a porn set.
Someone didn't know we were on air. Anyway, so here. Oh, Jesus.
If anybody's
Thanks, Karen.
watching this,
Thank you very much.
our one fan just said, "What in the world is going on?"
I know.
Our
I know.
one
I know.
fan
I got
watching.
you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Karen. Appreciate that. Appreciate your input. Anyway, so in picking the first round,
But yeah. Anyway,
go use the spreads. Go use the spreads.
Use the spreads. Pick 1 15 seed to win. Pick 2 10 seeds to win, and then just fucking go from. All right, I gotta stop cursing, and go from there. Just have fun with it, and I mean, I like to pick the upsets. I always ruin my bracket by picking North Carolina to go really far, even when
It's
they
so
suck.
tempting. Yeah.
It's not. It's stupid. It's not tempting. It's stupid. I know we're not that good. I know we already lost like 9 games this season. I'll probably still pick us to go to the regional final, which is loyalty. I'm going to pick the Eagles to beat the Bucks. They aren't. They weren't this year, but I'm still going to pick them. I'm loyal to my teams, man. So
I am too.
I'm
I
not
always know to
bandwagon.
pick Gonzaga. I always know to pick Princeton in the first round, no matter who they're playing when they're in. They're not in it this year. Don't worry about it. But I started using the first round spreads, Luther, especially with the 8-9s. I don't know who's better.
I don't. I mean,
I'm going with
I don't
Vegas.
use spreads. I just Vegas wins a lot, man. So
Okay, so for upset of the
listen, my
tournament, I
whole
know.
thing is I'm not putting money on it. I'm in one $20 pool. One $20 pool. That's it.
Okay.
One $20 pool. And because like I said earlier, I don't watch much anymore. Usually I have insight. It's like, oh, I can't believe they're picking so and so to lose. I've watched them all year. They're really good. They had some tough losses, and they win it because I've actually watched. I know that team's good. I know their record is worse than it should be. Not this year, bro. But it's gonna be cool. Got some local match. You guys in Philadelphia got Villanova and Delaware, don't you?
Yeah, well, you know our producer Zach went to Delaware, right? So he's all
Oh,
excited.
really?
He's all gassed, but he refused to pick him. Whatever.
Why? Because Elena Deladon used to beat his ass every day in the pickup. That's probably why.
Elena Deladonna, she's actually my celebrity crush, by the way.
Yeah, I was like, whoa, she's kind of small. Too bad she wouldn't like either of us. I mean, she'd probably be more interested in
was
my
a big
wife.
letdown.
Oh, I thought you were
I
going to say
mean,
me.
whatever floats her boat. She wouldn't have wanted me anyways if she was into males. So she would have picked some 6-foot muscular guy, not my
Something more
ass.
like me. Yeah, I get it.
I'm sorry, 6'6"
But I'm
muscular
6'3".
guy.
6'3".
You're not muscular either. So
Anyway,
that.
Luther, since we haven't been on for a while, yes, I'm jacked. What are you talking about? This NFL free agency's been fun. What's with the overpaying? I know everybody overpays time to time, but
Everyone
it seems
overpays.
like
But Micah, it's not overpaying because the
It's the
stupid
market.
cap goes up every year. It's fake contracts, and it never is really overpaying except if you're the Jags.
Oh my Lord, did they
And you
destroy
pay
the wide
Christian
receiver market?
and you pay
I like
Christian
Christian
Kirk.
Kirk. I like him. He's fast, explosive.
Okay. So
Fine.
how about this? How about this, Micah? What was the problem with Arizona last year? One of the biggest problems down the stretch. Who got hurt?
I don't remember.
Their number one receiver,
Okay.
Hopkins. Did
Okay.
Kirk step up and become a number one receiver?
No, and he never was or never will be. I think he's a nice player,
Exactly. So
but he's not
what are
$21
you
million.
So what are you doing?
I
The
agree.
deal is 18 million, and it could be 21 million, right? Let's put it like that. We also know the deal is probably really juiced up, but it's got a huge guarantee. It's not really 21, but it looks that way. He's either. Well, that's just my opinion. Like, my goodness. Like, how
And
do
it
you
broke.
pay
I think
that?
it's going to destroy the wide receiver market. I mean, it wasn't a day later because for the longest time we've heard about the Eagles being interested in Juju, and it was like a day after that contract. I saw a report that said the Eagles are no longer interested in Juju. I'm like, yeah, because he probably saw that. It
Yeah,
was like, that's what
well,
I want.
and
No,
and the person that initially said were interested in Juju, how he wrote that article and how he wrote the article the next day saying we're not interested in Juju, which really means we're probably interested in Juju and trying to sneak a nut in there. So those
oh,
articles
you're being
are.
sarcastic.
I'm
Okay,
being
I get it.
sarcastic. Like those things mean nothing. Let's put out this rumor. They mean
I
nothing.
know, but you don't think Juju changed his wants and demands when he saw what Kirk got? Come on.
He could have, but it still means not. Those articles mean nothing. Like they don't fucking message the guy who tweets about football and say, "All right, we're changing our stance now. We want 21 million since Kirk wants 21 million. So
I
the
didn't say
Eagles are
these
no
are
longer in."
absolutes. I didn't say these
And I'm
reports are
saying it's not even close to absolutes. There's so much misinformation. It's so much misinformation. Like for me, that means nothing. To be honest, that means nothing because one day, you know what? There are so many people that were certain that Deshaun Watson said that he was not one of the teams he wasn't interested in was the Panthers, and then he was that was one of the teams he actually met with. So they mean nothing to me. I guess I've seen
It's
it all. I've seen a lot. They mean nothing. They throw out something and it could stick because all you have to say one day is that the Eagles are interested in Juju Smith-Schuster, and you could tweet the next day. From what you're hearing, the Eagles have no interest in Juju Smith-Schuster, and you could have gotten it from nowhere. You could have gotten it from me,
of course.
and I don't know shit. But it means nothing. They could have truth to it. For me, it means nothing. I like it.
It
It's
means
soft.
something to me because
that-
I think I like Juju. I ain't giving him $15 million a year. Not on.
Well,
If I'm the Eagles, no way.
He's gonna get $15 million a year because
Not
that's
for
the
me.
market. That's what
Not
I'm
for
saying.
me.
But you don't run a team, and that's what
You
I'm
don't know
saying.
that.
That's the market, and that's like middle of the market now. People are gonna continue to get paid the market. And that's the thing, and it's going to keep going up. Every year, people complain about salaries, and then they finally look at like top 20 salary. Oh, he actually fits in. Christian Kirk doesn't, but it happens every year. People do it every year. I do it. You do it. All of us do it. And then we go, oh, the numbers are what they are. And then you see the real deal, and the deal is like 4 years, 75 million with 12 million guaranteed, spread out over 14 years.
Of
And
course, and football worse than any other sport.
It's the worst.
Yeah.
I wish they would stop calling it contracts anyways. They're not contracts. They're kind of promises. It sucks.
Well, I do agree with you that cap is spiking big time in the next few years. Big time. But that
It is.
said, how many good players have we seen just this year? We'll just talk about this year. How many really good players have we seen just getting released? They just can't afford them. I don't care what you pay
And
Christian Kirk.
that's what happened. That's what happens every single year, and it's basically it's the quarterbacks. The quarterbacks are going to tear up the cap every single time. The cap spikes. They finagle the cap and get some room. They cut a veteran who has one of those deals that they knew they weren't going to get to the fourth year anyways. It happens. That's what happens. That's what the NFL is, and their stupid contracts, which after lockouts and stoppages and stuff, they still haven't fixed it. They still don't have contracts, Micah, to be like legally. Like it's like, dude, you could get out of this deal. That's why. So now we found out why Randy Gregory did the flip flop with the Cowboys, because they language in there saying if he got suspended or if he this or if he that, they could void the deal.
Right.
So that's why he jumped ship. And I would have jumped ship too. Of course, if I were the Cowboys, I would stick some language in there considering who I'm dealing with.
I agree 100%.
But if you sneak that language in there, I'm not signing with you if someone else offers me a similar deal with no language.
Right.
But if I'm the Cowboys, but whatever.
No, if I'm the Cowboys, I agree with that 100% because let's be honest. Was it the Broncos? He went to the Broncos?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Anytime
between now and opening day, if he slips up with a substance, he may never play it down for you. So if I'm the Cow, they know. They put that language in there for a reason.
And that's fine. And he has every right to say, I'm going to someone where my money's safer. And
I agree with you. I agree with you.
Like, I don't care. I just want the Cowboys to suck. Like, so that doesn't matter to me. But
and they had to make a big roster move because they overpaid somebody, and now we can't keep him. So Amari Cooper had to go. They're lucky they got what they got for him because they were about to cut him.
Yeah, they got what they got for him because the Browns didn't want to fight for him. The Browns wanted to actually get him, and they cut Jarvis Landry.
They did
in order to get him. I mean, that's just the way it is. I mean, I'm not going to be bitching about people moving because of salary. That we knew a few years ago. Like, come on, the Cowboys are paying everybody, including their thick running back, and he held out and held them hostage. They didn't have to budge. He had like 2 more years on his deal. Zeke. So
looks like a dumb idea now, doesn't it? I don't think he can run anymore, or barely.
Well, he was all hurt up last year. I mean, I'm glad he got paid for himself. I'm glad he got his money, but he looks like he looks overweight.
He just doesn't look like the same guy.
Yeah, and that when you're overweight at a running back position, you definitely won't look like the same guy on the field.
And that kind of also goes into the theory of why you shouldn't pay running backs a lot of money. I mean, the Panthers were already reportedly open for business on McCaffrey. I mean, they paid him a ton of money. Great player, but he's hurt all the time.
Yeah. Good. So let's not do the whole running back shouldn't get paid for the 5th show in a row.
I'm just saying, all of them are coming up. They're talking about trading Saquon.
I get it.
We haven't been on for a couple weeks.
I get it. But every show we do that. The guys, let them get paid. Like, whatever. Let's pay a quarterback $50 million.
What's that?
I mean, the guys, they should get paid accordingly, and whatever the market is, let them get paid. I mean, I'm all for the guys getting paid, and the whole running back.
No, I have no problem with
it. Get paid is, for me, it's kind of foolish.
I'm not even talking about that.
Running back, but it's like, come on.
I'm never gonna get. If a dude gets paid, it's not like he strong-armed it. You got it. Somebody paid it to you. You know, I got no problem with that.
Market.
So now you just see the Bills signed Von Miller for, was it 6 years, $140?
6 years, $120, which is probably a 2-year $35 million deal or something like that.
Which goes back to your point of these deals are
The
whatever.
deal,
Even when they
look at Aaron Rodgers' deal. Aaron
Yeah.
Rodgers' deal might save 4 years or whatever. Aaron Rodgers' deal is like 3 years, $150 million. If you really look at his deal, which is
Probably.
insane. No, look at his deal. He's guaranteed almost 150 in the first 3 years. It's spread out whatever it wants to look like for cap
Right.
reasons. He's making a ton of cash. I guess the relationships are mended now, which is good for him. Like shit. I mean, it's a $1 billion industry. Like, the players
more
should
than that.
make a ton of money.
I agree.
They should make a ton of money.
No, look, I'm with you on that. I agree. So who do you think's done a good job for themselves? Who's not so much? I got to start with the Jags. I don't even know what they're doing. They franchised Cam Robinson. I don't. Are they below the floor?
I don't understand that whatsoever. Like, why did you franchise Cam Robinson? Why did you play Kristen Kirk? I mean, the best deal they did is they signed a guy who has potential and has never lived up to it. Is Evan Ingram? He signed to a 1 year kind of prove it deal. He's got a ton of talent. Like that's about the look. I hadn't seen all their deals, but they cut Miles Jack.
Yes, they did.
So I don't know, man. But look, at least they're trying to get some weapons for their quarterback.
No, yeah, I mean, that team's.
I mean,
it's just a terrible front office.
DJ Chark is
Free agent.
he's going to, I think, the Lions. The thing about DJ is he could be a stud, but he's never ever been healthy for a whole season.
Right.
He's always hurt, but when he's on the field, he's a stud. So, I mean, how do you pay that? You know what I'm saying? How do you want to keep your homegrown guys, but how do you pay that, man?
Right. What am I paying for? When he played 4 games last year?
Yeah, I think 4, man. And that was his contract year. I mean, he's going to get paid because that dude, he got a chance to be something, but
he's super
my
talented.
goodness, if you can't stay on the field, I mean, I think that's probably one of the reasons why he didn't get drafted high either. That and LSU always has a boatload of wideouts, but
right,
yeah.
So what can you tell us, Luther, now as someone living down in Carolina? What can you tell Eagles fans to look for with Hassan Reddick, which I think was a great deal, by the way?
Well, I think living in Carolina, I think since the games are typically national, that even people in Philadelphia know what they're getting.
Oh, you think you think I read you? I watched the all 22s of Carolina Panther games.
You think I watched the all 22s of Carolina Panther games? You beat me to it. But what you're getting is a guy who had double-digit sacks the past 2 seasons. That's what you're getting. You're getting a guy who the Cardinals decided was a stand-up linebacker, and he wasn't. And then you finally put his hand in the ground, and he gets to the quarterback.
Yeah,
and that's what the Eagles are getting, which is great, and not Derek Barnett. That's
aging Brandon Graham.
That's
Josh
the main
Sweat.
thing the Eagles are getting is not Derek Barnett, and that's great. Look, Josh Sweat is a piece. He can rush the passer.
Okay.
Brandon Graham is old. You bring in another guy who can actually rush the passer, not Derek Barnett, who can almost always get to the quarterback. He's an almost getting to the quarterback guy. It's so frustrating. He's always a half a step away, 2 steps away. And another thing he always does, he's always a full step ahead in the stupid penalty department.
Personal fouls, too. He doesn't get the cheap ones.
He does not get the cheap ones. He gets felony murder. He gets felonies. He does not rob the bank and ask for like 100, 300. He goes for millions. He gets felonies. And it's like, dude, what are you doing? Why did you hit the guy? I'm still mad at him for last season, and I'm still grateful for him for the Brady strip sack.
That we'll always have
No,
that.
no, no, for the recovery of
He
the
recovered
Brady
it. Yeah,
strip sack.
Brandon Graham knocked it out.
I'm
Somebody had to get
grateful
it.
for him. He was there. He
Yeah.
was almost at the quarterback and he was almost there. And he helped us get a ring, dude. I can't be that pissy, but man, he was quite a disappointment, man. I mean, last year
Yeah.
was his contract year, bro. Last
know.
year was his contract year.
He's just not that good. Now looking at both the conferences now, because obviously the Seahawks got rid of one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL, and it goes to a division where, dude, you're
They
playing
got all the quarterbacks.
Herbert, Holmes, and Carr twice a year.
They got all the quarterbacks. That division is going to be fire. And
AFC
I'm
too, and you
here
still
for-
got the Bills, the
but,
Bengals.
but here's the thing about that division. All the teams got 2 pass rushers now. They've got Bosa and Khalil Mack at the Chargers. Oh, who was that? They got Bosa and Khalil Mack at the Chargers. So then you get the Raiders. The Raiders, who did they just sign? Chandler Jones, and then the guy who is 2 years sobriety.
The tight
2
end.
years No, I'm talking about pass rushers.
All right. Well, they have another guy that.
I'm talking about we're talking about pass rushers, bro.
Okay. Well, they cut Carl
No.
Nassib. Is that what you were talking about?
No, they just cut him. Max
That's
Crosby.
what I just said.
No. You said, are we talking about
Alden Smith?
Anyways, let me go and make sense of this since you're being stupid. So we're talking about pass rushers in that division. Let me start over. Chargers. They just traded for Khalil Mack, and they have Bosa. Let's go to the Raiders. They just re-signed Max Crosby, and they just signed Chandler Jones and traded the guy from Jacksonville that went all the Baltimore, and you know who I'm talking about.
Dockway?
Yeah, him. They just traded him. And then you have who's the other team? Denver. Denver just signed Smokey from Dallas, and I'm sorry. And then they have Bradley Chubb. Then you got the Chiefs. You got not defensive end, but you have Jones and Frank whatever his name is, Clark, who may or may not be on the team since his cap is high.
May or may not have stolen your PlayStation.
He may or
Nobody
may
did in
not.
college.
He did something stupid like that. These guys continue to do stupid shit. But yeah, that division, man. But they've got quarterbacks, but they certainly got guys who can get after the quarterback, which is great. I like it. I like it.
It's gonna be a fun division.
It's gonna be fun, and I'm glad we don't play in it.
Serious. That now, if you look at the NFC, I mean, how many good quarterbacks are in the NFC right now?
Give
Rodgers,
me a second.
Stafford,
Rodgers. You got Tom Brady.
Tom Brady's back, obviously. I mean, is Kyler Murray anything to be scared of right now? Is Dak Prescott anything to be terrified of?
I mean, they're good. They're good, serviceable quarterbacks. I mean, it's not like they're Daniel Jones,
No.
but they're good, serviceable quarterbacks. No, I mean, they just lost Drew Brees 2 years ago. He's no longer in the NFC. Cam Newton's no longer any good.
Who knows where Garoppolo's going to end up?
Matt Ryan is old. Who's the other team in the division? Well, they got Brady. He's still old, and the Falcons have nothing. Then you get to our division. Yurts, there. You have Wentz, there. You have Dak. Who could? And then you have
he's a good player. Dak's a good player.
Yeah, I mean, you got Daniel Jones. All right, who's the other division in the NFC?
You got Kirk Cousins.
Cousins. He's a starter.
Yeah,
and
he is.
Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers. obviously. What's his
Aaron
name?
Rodgers is he's an okay quarterback.
He's all right.
Jared Goff,
Fields is probably going to
he's
start.
okay. Fields, still young and okay.
He's probably going to start,
So,
wouldn't you think?
yeah. I mean, he's not probably going to start. He's definitely going to start. But is he any good? We don't know yet.
I don't know. I have no idea.
We don't know yet. Let him play. We don't know yet. New coach, new offense, new scheme.
I agree. And look, before we let these people go, I have to know. We haven't talked about this, Luther. Usually we talk offline or text about this stuff, and we really haven't discussed the Carson Wentz deal. He's going to be the first quarterback since I think it was like 1950 to start 3 separate opening days in a row for 3 separate teams. So the Eagles, the Colts, and Washington.
Dude, listen. Again, we read stuff, and there are a little bit of truth to half truth to a lot of this. But reading the stuff from Indy was like they were done with him almost
before he blew the Jacksonville game.
Listen, don't know if it's true, but my goodness, they're saying Irsay was like they're saying he wasn't elite. They're saying the same things they were saying in Philly. They were saying he can't be coached hard. How can you be a quarterback who can't be coached hard? Tom Brady gets coached hard.
Yeah.
I don't understand that guy. Who do you think you are?
I know. And the reports about him, which enough people have confirmed it, that he was complaining to other injured players during the Super Bowl run that it sucks to see them win it without me. Essentially, I'm paraphrasing, but
you
didn't get benched. You ripped your knee. What did you want him to do?
Even if you got benched, that's such a I'm cursing. That's such a bitch move. Yeah. That is a bitch move. Dude, that is weak. That's so weak. Dude, my team gets hurt. I'm limping my ass out there cheering them on. Dude, that's the weakest thing. Out of all the things about him, all the rumors, that's the weakest. That's so weak.
And you know what's funny, Luther, is I know you and a couple of our other friends made fun of me for a long time because I was pretty much the last one holding on to Carson Wentz in Philly. I hung on to him
for a long time. But
I did too.
But not as long as you.
I held on too
long time.
I did. But the things that ended up that I thought at the time were really bothering me, his hero ball. He just wasn't the same quarterback. I had no idea about this behind the scenes garbage. I had no idea. That's the real fire of it all. You can't be a starting quarterback in the NFL, not a successful one, if no one respects you and you're. Come on, man.
So I, of course, and big heading anyone. Of course, I played ball and I know a few people. Okay. I heard the whole thing about him not wanting to be coached a while ago. And I was like, come on. I talked to you about it.
No, I know. I was just hoping it wasn't true, and that smoke came out at first. I was like,
man, this can't be right.
If this is true, this is bad.
He seems like a tough guy, a hard worker. Yeah. Like, we were like, no. If this is true, this is a problem. And it ended up basically true. Yeah. Like, dude, that's tough to hear, bro. You can't be coached. Dude, coaches are up your ass all the time. You just coach fuck, chill, man. Like how?
It's like telling your boss at work, stop telling me what to do. No, I want that Excel sheet.
Stop telling me what to do. Stop telling me when you turn in my report that I need in order. Like what? Like okay, I don't run my own company. I work for this dude. I might want to get in it. I might want to get the work in. But that's still tough for me, man.
Well, to me, the shocking thing is the 180. And then Luther, I know you agree with this for the most part. His rookie year and his on his way to MVP, likely, possibly in 2017 season, he was not only phenomenal, but he always said the right things in the post-game press conference. He sounded like the guy. And then all of a sudden, you find out he's just A total
A
Nancy
dick.
boy. He's a
He's
dick.
a dick. You find out he's like a dick. That's so disappointing, bro.
And I saw. It's funny because
Like I was all in on Carson Wentz, bro. I fought tooth and
I
nail.
thought it was a safe all in too. I really do.
I
I felt
fought
like it was a safe all in. Like this guy's got it. This guy can do it.
dude. It was a family member, and I would get annoyed when people would trash him,
Yeah.
and I was so wrong. I was
Yeah.
so
So
wrong, dude.
right now, I'm down in Alexandria, across from DC, and some waiter came up to me and saw my Eagles hat, and he's like, "Hey, we got your quarterback." And all I could think of was, "Go for it, dude. Have fun."
You're thinking, ha 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 ha
Yeah.
ha. That's what you're
Yeah.
thinking.
Because
Like, all
franchise
right,
quarterbacks play on 3 teams in 3 years.
in 3 years, you're like, all right, have him. You want my wife too?
Yeah, he's
Like,
like, yeah. He was like, "Oh, he's better than Heineke," and all I could think of was, "I
what?
don't know about that.
I don't know if
Heineke's
he's
not
better
bad."
than Heineke right now. But if that's your bar, sucks to be you.
It's gonna be
Oh,
another
he's
dismal
better
year
than
in Washington.
Heineke.
It's gonna be
He's
another
like,
dismal
oh,
year in Washington.
he's better than Heineke. That's like me saying, well, he's better than Bobby Hoying. Like,
Yeah, he's better
okay,
than Nathan Peterman.
he's better than me at quarterback. Like, okay, like that's not an accomplishment, dude. I
I
wasn't good at quarterback.
So it's funny. I thought last year when the Eagles traded him with a first and a third, there was escalators and things like that. And I was like, all right, that's a pretty good haul for where he was at the time. All right, I'll take that. And then you see that Washington gave up like 2/3 and a second. I said, you watch at the end of this year, it's going to be Washington gets 2/5 for Carson Wentz, and it's just going to keep going down every year as people continue to toss him aside. Is this his last chance to start in the NFL? Or is he going to be clipboard bound if it goes south?
No, I don't think he'll be clipboard bound because there's a dearth of quarterbacks.
That's
He's
true.
gonna go because somebody's gonna think they can. He's gonna go to someplace like freaking New England.
Giants. You gotta go to the Giants.
Actually, New England just drafted a guy, so I can't say that.
I think
But
they
you
like
know how
Mac
Brady
Jones.
is. You know how I say Brady. You know how Belichick is. He's good with replacement guys. But
All right. So one more question for you before I let you go, and we'll wrap this up. They're talking in Baltimore. Who would get traded, Huntley or Lamar?
I mean, it depends on if they want to
They
pay
like this
Lamar.
kid. They like his backup a lot.
Yeah, I know, and they don't want to pay Lamar Jackson.
Right.
But I mean, Lamar Jackson was good last year before he got hurt, and I want
like
people to
Lamar
shut
Jackson.
the hell up. Lamar Jackson did not get hurt running with the ball. Again, he got hurt in a normal quarterback hit. So let's throw that out of the window. I think Lamar Jackson is. I don't get it, man.
I love Lamar Jackson.
He won the damn MVP. He's a good damn quarterback. What's the only problem that Lamar Jackson has is he's too good of a runner. So now all of a sudden he's a runner that can't throw. And that's just not true.
I agree.
Who are their wideouts? Dude, his number one receiver is his tight
Hollywood.
end.
And then he's
It's
got
Mark
Hollywood,
Andrews.
right?
It's
Right.
Mark
Yeah,
Andrews.
who's very good. Who's very good.
That's his one.
Yeah.
Right.
And Hollywood
And
Brown's
they
probably
keep
second.
trying, huh?
Hollywood Brown's probably second.
They keep trying to bring in wideouts. They drafted a guy last year, and he was hurt most of the season. The kid from Purdue, I think Purdue, and it's like, but I mean, the Ravens are pretty good in terms of talent. So if they traded him to keep Huntley, then Huntley might be good. I trust what the Ravens do.
And
They
keeping with the
always make
Ravens,
it.
they just signed Zadarius Smith from the Packers today. And you know what? When I look at the numbers compared to Von Miller, and obviously we just already covered the fact that these contracts are so crazy. All you can really do is eyeball it as an outsider, fan, media, whatever it is. I thought the deal looked pretty good. Darius gets after it, man. I dig that dude. I'd rather do that than break the bank on 30-some-year-old Von Miller going into his 12th year in the league.
I don't know. I don't know what Zadarius Smith did last year.
You don't need to. You just have to know he's awesome.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess there's a reason why he took less money and also got cut. So he might have had a down year on film. But
yeah,
whatever.
well, they can't afford anyone after they gave Rodgers all that money and franchised Devontae.
Yeah, I hate the franchise because it takes people off the market, and then you don't give them a deal, and then they have to do this shit again, and maybe have a worse year or maybe get hurt. It's kind of
Walter Jones got it 3 years in a row, didn't he?
So did Kirk Cousins, but he kind of Kirk Cousins wanted to. That was great for them because they wouldn't give him a deal, but they kept franchising him and ended up paying him the same or more than what a long-term deal. Actually, more because his Kirk's agent is my guy, Mike McCartney. That was my old agent, and we talked. And he's like, "Look, we offered them a really good deal, and after all was said and done, he said, look, they would have made out better if they had just took the deal."
Yeah, because that franchise tag jacks up every year.
It jacks up, and plus, if you franchise a person a second time, they don't get they get a percentage higher.
That's my point. Is if you keep franchising them, that money keeps going up.
Yeah, the same guy. Yeah, they keep going up. Now, I think they might have a rule in where you can only do it a certain amount of times. But they were happy. They were like, "Cool, you're gonna give us 1 year, 20,
and that money's guaranteed too.
It's guaranteed. You're gonna give us 1 year 20. You're gonna give us 1 year 25. You're gonna give us 1 year. Okay, fine. But you didn't want to give us 5 years 100. You didn't want to give us 5 years 85. That was what they did. They played the hell out of the market and then got a fully guaranteed deal with Minnesota. I'm calling Mike and I'm asking for a loan.
Seriously. He got the guaranteed checks with the franchise tag and then got the long-term deal that was probably way more than it would have been if they would just have done it 3 years ago or 2 years ago.
No, he got the long-term deal as a free agent with Minnesota. Remember, it was fully guaranteed.
Right, but I'm saying he got all his money.
Oh, absolutely. And then he just got paid again.
Yeah,
he just re-signed. Good for Kurt. Like,
good for him.
Good. I want them all to get paid. Good for Kurt.
I do too. I mean, I also look at it from a team perspective as we're going to blow the bank on a certain guy. But anyway, Luther, we're
only one team can win. Fuck the teams. Only one team can win. So pay the guy.
So any other thoughts as we close out our show for today?
Deshaun Watson. What the hell is
going to the Browns?
Wait, how about? Well, he's not necessarily going to the Browns. I've heard the Browns are kind of done with Baker, regardless of Deshaun, anyways. And he wrote this weak fucking letter, and he's not even gone yet. What the hell?
I don't know. I mean, you would have to think if they're going to trade for Deshaun Watson, which I don't know that they're going to, Baker would be in that deal.
Of course he would be in the deal. But I'm saying that word is that Baker's probably going to be gone regardless. They might bring in Jimmy G. I'm hearing in Cleveland that they even though they sign, and you know how they'll sign a guy to keep them so they can get compensation, that they're kind of done with him. And
well,
I guess I can see why.
Yeah, but I also go back. What are you going to get? I mean, if you is getting Jimmy G, is that anything other than a lateral move?
No, I don't know about Baker. I don't know about Jimmy either,
but I don't know what you're gonna get.
yeah, but maybe there's a leadership void. The word out of there is they want an adult in the room at
Okay.
QB. So maybe it's a leadership thing. If you're not the adult they want and you're Patrick Mahomes, that works too.
Yeah, right.
but if you're Baker and you're not the guy they really want, then you could make a move and kind of hold until you figure it out, like a year or two. But if you've made a decision he's not the guy, just
But it kind of goes back to it's not exactly the same, but it's a similar situation the Eagles find themselves in with Jalen Hurts. You know, WIP is lit up with callers. Oh, he's not the guy. He's not. What are you going to get right now?
well, the thing about
He's got another year. What choice do you have?
The same and no. One guy was the first overall pick in the draft.
Agree. No, I said it's not the same. I get it.
Yeah,
And they've got years to look
and
at.
I get what you're saying, but you're not going to get unless somebody wants to give you something for Jalen. What are you going to get, and where are you? Who are you replacing him with at this point? You know, like
I'm saying for right now. Like, I don't think he's the guy of the future, but is he good enough for right this second for what the rest of this roster looks like? Sure. This is not.
No.
This team was not a Russell Wilson away from winning a Super Bowl, and that's
It
just
might not have been, but I don't think we win. I think a quarterback makes us at least 3 games better.
You're probably right, but is it getting you to where you want to go?
Yes, it's getting you to where you want to go. Improving at quarterback gets you to where you want to go. Are you being like? Is that really your question?
Yeah.
You might
So
be saying something else.
Where are you trying to go? You're trying to win a championship, right?
Yeah, getting a better quarterback gets you closer to where you want to go.
A 33, 34-year-old that the roster is not even going to be ready to support for
Micah,
another 2 years, and he'll be 36.
Again, say what you want to say. You say replacing the quarterback doesn't get you to where you want to go. And I'm saying, yes, it does if you're getting a better quarterback. What do you mean? Replacing Jalen Hurts with a better quarterback does get you closer. Maybe you're saying something different.
I'm using the Russell Wilson example because you would have to give away the entire.
Russell Wilson is a different story. Okay, so you're being specific to Russell Wilson.
Yeah, perhaps I was. Yeah. Now, if it's Deshaun Watson and you know all the legal stuff's cleared up and you know all the NFL stuff's cleared up.
I didn't want to spend a ton of money for Russell because he's 32 or whatever. But if you're going to spend a ton of money and get a star like Deshaun, and I know all the other stuff. I'm not thinking about that. I'm saying if. I'm fine with that. But if we don't, I'm fine with it as well. But and I'm out on Hurts, probably is what I'm saying. I'm out on Hurts. I just don't think he's good enough, man.
He might not be.
I don't think he's good enough at all. I like him. I like him as a leader. He seems like a really good guy. I cringe, man. I just he kills me out there.
I know. I don't think he's your long-term answer. I'm saying for right this second, for right this year.
So for right this second and right this year, and you know, every year is different. That's something. Every year is different, and I think if somebody opens up now, I think you can go. You get them. We're not urgent, but if something opens up, you get him. But who's there, right? Who's there, right? But if Houston calls Philly and say, look, let's work something out, and they do it, I won't be complaining. But we're not a quarterback away. But, boy, we are quarterback is a huge piece that we're away from. It's not like when
Deshaun Watson's different because he's young. He's
young. That's what I just said. Like a minute ago when you clarified that you meant Russell Wilson. Deshaun is I Look, dude. I think Denver's a lot closer, especially with that defense. Um, Philly has other problems. We're a little closer than I thought we would have been from 2 years ago. I thought we were a disaster 2 years ago. I didn't know where we were going, but we're better than I thought we were. So we could be closer, but I don't know how close we are. I just know, I know. Gosh, I hope I'm wrong, and I hope he comes out next year and is fucking MVP and most improved player in the league and all this shit. I don't think we can do anything with Jalen Hurts, man.
I don't think this team's doing much of anything with anyone at quarterback right now.
We're talking about a guy who's in the bottom rung of the league. No one's going to win with him. I think countering that with what you're saying
Bottom rung? You think Jalen Hurts is bottom rung?
Yes, he's not good.
Stop it. Stop.
Okay, Michael, where is Jalen Hurts on your quarterback list here? Because he's not in the top.
I wouldn't put him in the bottom rung. Come on.
Where
would you rather have him or Daniel Jones? I'd rather have him than Carson Wentz. I mean, come on.
Dude, that's okay, fine. You can have him, Daniel Jones, Carson Wentz at 23. It's 21. Bottom rung.
You're talking about a bottom third, maybe.
Whatever the fuck you want to, you want to split cunt hairs all you want. He's bottom rung in my opinion. I've seen enough. Listen, Carson Wentz was so bad that Jalen Hurts was better than him at that point 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. Carson's a pussy. He's weak. He plays hero ball. But he has much better tools than Jalen Hurts. If he had Jalen Hurts' leadership mentality strength, he would still be in Philly and he would be a stud.
We'd have a star.
Again, I don't care about Carson Wentz. I don't care about other people on other teams. I just don't believe in Jalen Hurts. I cringe watching him throw the ball.
I cringe watching him scan the field. That's what scares me more than anything. He's really late to find something. That's a real problem. But is what it is. Eagles are going to be they would be 500 if it were not for the amount of odd numbered games. They're going to have to be 8-9 or 9-8 again.
Dude, if the Eagles had a really good quarterback, they'd be 3 games over 500.
And losing the divisional round.
And maybe winning the fucking divisional round. Who knows? But when your quarterback can't do shit, you're definitely losing. That's
and on that note,
that's what I'm saying. Like the quarterback, that's why people give up their babies and their moms for quarterbacks. And we don't have one. And I don't want to be the dream team and try to build all in 1 year. I hope we hit on our draft picks. Boy, I wish we could do something. I wish he makes a jump at quarterback. I just don't believe in him.
I hear you. Look, we'll leave it there for now, Luther. What do you think?
Yeah.
We'll let these people get back to their day so that I don't know, so they don't have to hear you swear so much. Learn all these colorful language.
Well, it is what it is. All
right, man, Luther. So I'll see you next week for Luther Broughton. I'm Micah Warren. This has been another fantastic episode of Cheap Shots. We will see you guys again next week.
Peace. Where's your mom?